Hello my friends. In today's video there will be no long introduction because what I am about to share with you today is very important. And a word of caution, I am going to give you information firstly which is readily available on the internet, and secondly some information which is not readily available on the internet. Something else I just want to mention is that I do not wish to take full credit for this video, as I had some help. I think I've mentioned this before. My internet settings on my laptop is set for my country, and what often happens is that when I want to access public records in another country, it comes up as not available for your country, and therefore I can't always access, and I want to stress this, public records in another country. So yes, I had some help from some lovely, crazy, brave subscribers on this one. And I know for a fact that they do not want to be mentioned by name, and they do not want any credit, but I am giving them credit anyway, and they know who they are. Okay, so please, a word of caution, listen carefully, because strewn throughout this video, in between things which are in the media and available on the internet, are a couple of tidbits which are not available on the internet. The first thing we will be talking about will be Meghan's plagiarism, and I am going to very quickly run through it and discuss or mention a few instances, and there are many, but a few which very few people have actually picked up on. So I'm going to mention a few incidences where Meghan openly plagiarized either a speech or something she wrote. So let's get on with it. Now, the first thing I want to point out to you, and as a matter of fact, I have actually spoken about this before in one of my very, very, very old videos. And that is a story that came out in the early days of Meghan and Harry's relationship, and it hit all the newspapers. And that is a quote allegedly from her father, something he used to say to her when she was approximately 14 years old, which Meghan then went ahead and copyrighted. And the quote is as follows: "A face without freckles is a night without stars." Now, firstly, Meghan copyrighted this in 1995, and the registration date was on the 18th of January 1996. Now, the first thing I want to point out to you is that according to the laws of the United States and most of the states within the United States, minors under the age of 18 in most states lack the capacity to make a contract. So firstly, this tells us that Meghan was already 18 in 1995, and I will get back to this a bit later in the video, but you guys can chew on that in the meantime. Anyway, let's carry on. Firstly, if this was a quote from Thomas Markle, it did not belong to Meghan, and she had no right to copyright it. The person who could copyright it would have been Thomas Markle. And then, to make matters worse, there is a song called "A Face Without Freckles." And I'm just going to read a few lines from it. "This girl has got stronger, and if I knew then what I know now, I would have told myself, don't worry any longer, it's okay, 'cause a face without freckles is like the sky without stars." Okay, and this is a song by Natasha Bedingfield, and Tobias Gad. Now, the song was released in 2007. However, the original lyrics under a slightly different title was copyrighted in 1995. As a matter of fact, I think it was October 1995. Sorry, the printing is so small that I cannot read it properly. Okay, so who said it first? Did Thomas Markle say it first, or did Natasha Bedingfield say it first? Doesn't really matter for the purposes of this video. Fact remains, the quote did not belong to Meghan, and she had no right to copyright it. Okay, moving on. As I said, this part will be quick. Meghan Markle is trying very hard now to create this motto, which she is crediting to herself, which states, "Are you okay?" And she had actually passed it on to dear old Harry to use it in a number of his Zoom calls. And we recall how he said that this year, when people ask you, "Are you okay?" it's as if they really mean it. It now had a different meaning due to the pandemic, etc., etc. However, there is a movement, a mental health movement in Australia, who had titled themselves, "Are You Okay?" They even have an "Are You Okay" day annually. And the one I'm showing here is an advertisement of the "Are You Okay" day, which took place on the 14th of September 2017. However, this was not the first one, as I have also found ones dating back to 2016. So this motto or exclamation or movement that Meghan is trying to start with her "Are You Okay?" has been in existence for many years prior to her now putting emphasis on it. So once again, she is plagiarizing an existing motto, an existing heading, and an existing movement. And I'm sure that during her and Harry's visit in Australia, they were made aware of this organization titling themselves "Are You Okay?" as they were talking about mental health during their visit in Australia. Once again, plagiarism. Okay, let's quickly move on to the next one. I have now proven to you, and yes, I was the first one, that Meghan used a sentence from Stephanie Tong's book for her miscarriage narrative. However, did you guys know that she also plagiarized the title of her essay in the New York Times? Yes, indeed, people, and here it is. In November 2018, an essay titled "The Losses We Share" by somebody who used a pseudonym called Tufston's Lost Heart appeared, and it got quite a bit of attention because of its content. And guess what the main content was about? Yes, indeed, it was about miscarriage. Guess what Meghan called her essay about miscarriage? Yeah, "The Losses We Share." Now, I know that a lot of people will turn on me and say, "Look, Bookworm, this is just coincidence. These are just words." However, as I have said, I have a number of incidents where Meghan had knowingly plagiarized other people's work, and where perhaps it wasn't as indistinct as this, but definitely more distinct and more creative, which makes it highly unlikely that two people would come up with the same idea. And therefore, I believe that whoever did Meghan's research, be it herself or be it her PR, may have very well seen this essay, and seeing that she had called her piece in the New York Times an essay, and this piece is called an essay, I am convinced enough to think or know that either Meghan herself or her PR or whoever did her research actually found this essay and plagiarized the title. And now, my dear subscribers and friends, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty of this video. And this is where I caution you to start listening very carefully. Some of the content will be my own research, and some of the content will be information I received via other means. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to do this part in a sort of question and answer format with my comments thrown in between. Now, the first thing I would like to talk about, and as I said, we are either debunking rumors about Meghan today or we are proving them. So let's go. Remember when Meghan started dating Prince Harry, and I'm not sure whether it was during her first visit to Prince Harry and being introduced to the Queen and the rest of the royal family, but rumours sprung from that visit, namely that Meghan was caught in one of the palaces, I think Buckingham or maybe Kensington, I can't recall, but that she was caught taking photographs, and that Charles was so irate that he put her on a plane back to Canada. At that point, it was indeed a rumour or piece of gossip, and it was never either confirmed or denied. Then, as Megxit happened, there were again rumours that Meghan may be in possession of photographs and recorded material, conversations, etc., which she may or may not be using to blackmail the royal family. And yes, once again, those were rumours and gossip, and we did not elaborate on that any further. Maybe for fear of legal repercussions or whatever, or just because we didn't like spreading gossip. However, I have more information, and when you guys would happen to ask me the same question again, did Meghan take photographs and record conversations in the palace? My answer would be a resounding yes. And why? Well, because Meghan never surrendered her personal United States registered cell phone, and she always had it with her wherever she went. While living in England, while married to Harry, while being the Duchess of Sussex, she continued to upgrade her USA cell phone and service. So did the fact that she was so closely protecting this particular cell phone mean that she had used it to record conversations and to take photographs? Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. But it also meant that she never intended to stay in Britain. Moving on. Meghan also brought and kept her private laptop, and she was on the brink of paranoia when it came to this piece of equipment. It was password protected, which is not unusual, as so is mine. But she refused and hardly ever, if not never, connected to any of the internet services provided to the royal family in their residences and offices, but instead used her own modem, even disconnecting the modem feature so it could not be hacked. So all indications are that Meghan stored illicit information on her private devices. And although my sources do not want to come out and state this outright, that is the kind of information they have and which had been passed on to them. The next thing I found very interesting was the following. Did Meghan take some of Diana's jewelry and or other jewelry on loan to her to the United States? Okay, let's answer that one. Whether she did or not, or whether she tried to or not, is not clear from the information I received. What is clear and true is that the only thing of Diana's she now has, that she currently has in her possession, are the stones in her engagement ring. The stones came from a pair of Diana's earrings. The rest of Diana's personal collection are now in the good care of the Spencer family. There you go, people. So the next time you see her wearing a piece of jewelry that looks like one of Diana's pieces, please know that it's not. So you can all go and rest easy on that score. Okay, let's take a break from all these major issues and let's just backtrack to something maybe less serious. The next thing we have been speculating about, along with everyone else, is of course Meghan's age. Oh gosh, if you guys go back to my older videos, you will see quite a bit on that subject. Well, folks, now we do not have to speculate anymore. I'm firstly going to refer you back to one of my old videos in which I told you about Meghan on the set of Married with Children. I actually quoted a statement from one of the actors in the series, and I can now confirm, 100% confirm, that what I told you then is the absolute truth. So you can go back and look for that video or place your question in the comment section and I will reply. I'm not going to spend time searching for it now, but what I told you then was the God's honest truth. What was brought to my attention now is that you must also be 21 to work at an embassy in another country as an intern. Remember how Meghan said that she turned 21 while she was there? Some of you may also be aware or remember that I had spoken about Meghan's education, her time at Northwestern University at length in a video. Some of you will then also remember that I mentioned a hazing incident and that the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority were punished for it. I touched on the NDAs, I think, and the money which changed hands to keep it quiet. What I did not mention at the time was that I received information with regards to that from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Now I no longer have to protect the source by keeping quiet, as the story now broke in its entirety on Instagram and Twitter. It is now no longer a secret. And do you guys remember me telling you that Meghan could not possibly have obtained her BA degree in the little time she actually spent on the campus? Well, 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 I was right, and in a way wrong too. The truth is that Meghan did indeed graduate from high school in 1995, just like the tassels on her cap told us. She did attend Northwestern University shortly thereafter, and she was supposed to graduate from Northwestern University in 1999. But due to the hazing incident, of which our friend Meghan Markle's part was to replace eyelash glue with super glue and a number of other things, Meghan was suspended from the campus for nearly 2 years, and hence She only graduated in 2003, or at least received her degree in 2003. And I'm a poet, and I don't even know it. So now, for even newer information. We all know that Harry and Meghan hired 2 new ladies to provide additional PR. Well, it is said that Christine Schirmer and Toya Holmes were not hired as personal PR, but instead to work for the Archewell Foundation. A lot is being said about these 2 ladies, mostly about their credentials and stellar work records. What you are not being told is that Meghan and Christine have known one another since their days at Northwestern University together. As you will see, Christine graduated or received her degree in the year 2000, exactly when Meghan said she started at Northwestern, when in fact that was the year in which she was supposed to have graduated. Phew, okay. I was thinking of putting all the information I received into this one video, but I think it may result in information overload. And to be honest, these 21 minutes have already tired me. Yes, I'm suffering from a severe case of the Meghan Malarkey virus. So I decided to end the video here, and we'll be back during or just after the weekend with part 2. So in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. I'll be back soon with part 2. But for now, it is bye.